brain and the peripheral nervous system. The brain is the source of all our behaviors, thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It is the most complex organ in the human body and perhaps the most remarkable. The brain is made up of three main parts: the forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. The forebrain consists of the cerebrum, thalamus, and hypothalamus, which are part of the limbic system. The midbrain consists of the tectum and tegmentum. The hindbrain is made up of the cerebellum, pons, and the medulla. Often the midbrain, pons, and the medulla are referred to together as the brainstem. The cerebrum or cortex is the largest part of the human brain and is associated with higher brain functions such as thought and actions. The cerebral cortex is divided into four sections called lobes: the frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. The frontal lobe is responsible for reasoning, planning, parts of speech, movement, emotions, and problem solving. The parietal lobe helps control movement, orientation, and recognition. The occipital lobe is associated with visual perception, processing, and the temporal lobe helps control perception and recognition of auditory stimuli, memory, and speech. The cerebral cortex looks very wrinkled. This makes the brain more efficient because it can increase the surface area of the brain and the amount of neurons within it. A deep crack divides the cerebrum into two halves, known as the left and the right hemispheres. The two hemispheres look mostly symmetrical, yet it has been shown that each side functions slightly different than the other. Sometimes the right hemisphere has to do with creativity and the left hemisphere is associated with logic abilities. The corpus callosum is a bundle of axons which connects these two hemispheres. The cerebellum, or little brain, is similar to the cerebrum because it has two hemispheres and it has a highly folded surface, or cortex. This structure helps with the regulation and coordination of movement, posture, and balance. The limbic system, often referred to as the emotional brain, is found deep within the cerebrum. This system contains the thalamus, hypothalamus, amygdala, and hippocampus. The thalamus is a mass of gray matter located in the forebrain. It acts as a center for pain perception. The hypothalamus's function is to regulate homeostasis, emotion, thirst, hunger, and the control of the autonomic nervous system. The amygdala is part of the telencephalon located in the temporal lobe and is involved in memory, emotion, and fear. The final portion of the limbic system is the hippocampus. This part of our brain is important for learning, memory, and converting short-term memory to more long-term memory. Underneath the limbic system is the brainstem. This structure is responsible for basic vital life functions, such as breathing, heartbeat, and blood pressure. Scientists say that this is the most simplest part of the human brain because animals' entire brains, such as reptiles, resemble our brainstem. The brainstem is made up of the midbrain, pons, and the medulla. The midbrain is part of the brainstem, which includes the tectum and tegmentum. It is involved in functions such as vision, hearing, eye movement, and body movement. The medulla oblongata and the pons have centers for vital functions such as breathing and heartbeat. The brain is small, yet an extraordinary organ in the body. The design and processes that it can carry out is a work of art that we only know a fraction about. Over the last 10 years, huge breakthroughs in research have shed light on different functions of the brain, but there is still so much to discover. The integration of nerve cells and bundles in our brain is likely the most complex and amazing part of the body. Together, billions of our neurons collaborate to give the depth of our human experience, including emotion, processing information, memory, and new ideas. The overall main function of the peripheral nervous system, or PNS, is to connect the central nervous system to the limbs and organs. Unlike the CNS, the PNS is not protected by bone, such as the spine or skull, or by the blood-brain barrier. This leaves it exposed to toxins and mechanical injuries. These nerve pathways in the PNS are divided into multiple groups and sections. The two main groups are the somatic nervous system and the autonomic system. The somatic nervous system includes all of the neural pathways that are caused by voluntary actions, or anything that you can tell your body to do consciously. It controls skeletal muscle actions that are told to happen from your conscious decision. An example of using the somatic nervous system would be moving your arm or sticking out your tongue. The autonomic nervous system includes all of the neural pathways that are involuntary actions, such as your brain telling your eyes to blink or your intestines to contract. Most of these actions are involuntary, but some, such as breathing, can be altered with the conscious mind. The autonomic nervous system has two subsystems, the parasympathetic or PSNS, and the sympathetic nervous system or SNS. The parasympathetic nervous system regulates internal organs and glands unconsciously. The parasympathetic system is specifically responsible for stimulations of activities that occur when your body is at rest, such as secretion of saliva or digestion enzymes into the stomach. The sympathetic nervous system is involved in stimulations of activities that prepare the body for action, such as increasing the heart rate and increasing the release of sugar from the liver into the blood. The SNS is usually classified as the system used in a fight or flight response. Usually only one system or the other is active at a specific time. The use of the two autonomic systems can be switched according to the situation and interactions with the environment. For example, if you are resting in a park and just finished a picnic, your parasympathetic system would kick into action. Your heart rate would decrease, and the digestive structures of your body, such as your intestines, would increase their performance. Suddenly, a hungry bear appears and confronts you for your food. Right away, nerve impulses gathered from your senses switch the autonomic nervous system, which was parasympathetic, to the sympathetic nervous system. The pupils in your eyes dilate, the rate of your heart intensifies, and all of the digestive organs would reduce their activities drastically. Your liver would convert more glycogen to sugar, and you are ready to fight or run. This is why the sympathetic nervous system is often called the fight or flight response. Chart showing the different sections of the human nervous system. The entire nervous system is an intricate community of nerve cells interacting together in specialized ways. The human nervous system's unique complexity has been explored for centuries. Each year brings new and exciting understandings. For us explorers, there are still many secrets waiting to be unraveled and understood. Only time will tell what new and fascinating discoveries lie ahead.